subscribe to the bell. Thanks for watching. So what I intended on doing was giving y'all a family video this morning. I'll do that later on this evening. But I got up this morning, of course, drinking my tea, eating my Thanksgiving peanuts. And I was like, you know what? As I was making the bed, putting on a new comforter and all of that, and new cushions and all that, I had in the background playing about the Matrix, you know, and I was listening to two other guys talking about, melanated guys talking about the flow, the knowing, and everybody was using my terminology. I hadn't ever seen this guy before. I hadn't seen the other two guys before, and I was tickled because I love when people say the stuff I've been saying for a while and we haven't talked. And it's a beautiful thing to know you're not out here by yourself, figuring out things by yourself. The more of us that figure out the game, the better it is. I don't have to force anybody to understand the game called life. Like this guy here, Mike. Mike literally said he calls this a game called life, and I was tickled because it was like I hadn't ever heard anybody else call it that. It was a beautiful thing. And then the other guys were talking about the flow, and my husband and I always talk about being in the flow, being in the flux, you know, and being a master of your reality. And a lot of people just have not gotten there. They're still asleep or slumbering, or they're still childlike in their reality. And being childlike is definitely something that the majority of society pushes, to be childlike, to submit, to bow. And if you don't do that, you're seen or deemed as rebellious, or seen as unclean, or seen as hostile, or seen as stubborn. And it's not that. It's just we no longer are children. We have accepted the fact we must take control of our reality, our life. We have to take responsibility for it. No longer can I just live and lay in faith. I must make sure that the faith that I have, that I can see through the veil, I put works to it, okay? And not that I have to boast about anything, because no one really can boast about this game. It's just knowing that you're in the game. So what I'm going to deal with is I'm going to deal with, let you hear what he has to say about the low frequency beings that like to control us and deceive us in the game. They come as angels of light. They come as different characters in the game. They come as saviors. They come as redeemers. Why? Because you're not ready to come out the game. And because you're not ready to come out the game, they're going to approach you in a format or in a billing or revealing that makes you comfortable. You don't want to make a child afraid. And so they understand that as long as they can feed off of you, that's what they'll do. And they use human beings sometimes to bring other humans to them, such as the Epstein Island and other islands. And this island that Diddy was going to, Diddy Collins, you got Allie Carter, and you have what's her name, Mosha, and another female that was at the Diddy party that used to be a party favoring the white, and she always talking about the little 13-year-old was I think it's not Moesha, but something like that girl's name. That a lot of this stuff, when you hear these people's story, you realize that they were being thrust upon. These dark energies were literally using other humans to absorb their energy. And we do not want to spend time in the game being a battery for other entities who don't want to come into the knowledge of they can redeem themselves through having and allowing the care chakra to be activated. Now, I know a lot of these dimensional beings, they probably feel there is no hope for them to ever come up out of the goo, because that's why they want your loosh. They want your energy because they don't feel they can do it on themselves. I'm telling them you really can come up out of the game yourself. You know, we all have help in the game, seen and unseen help. And you have to sometimes let them know, hey, look, don't come up here trying to run my life. If you're going to help me, help me. If you're not, don't. And I would advise people, do not allow other ex-humans who had avatars to enter you. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Stand 10 toes down and believe that you can figure this game out. Now, I know a lot of them say that they are only coming to help you figure the game out. However, why haven't they figured the game out? They don't know the beginning from the end, because there's no such thing as the beginning from the end. There's no such thing as the end. Because I think there will always be some folks up in the game, and there will always be light beings and dark beings. And I can't say all dark beings are loose suckers. All I can say is a lot of them may be just like the movie Robert Williams was in. Um, um, he went into the painting at the end because his wife was depressed or something like that, and he chose to be in that realm with her, but he couldn't really pull her out of it because you can't pull someone out of their delusion. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up. I'm allow him to talk about the whole concept of coming to an awareness in the game that you literally are being placated. And I don't, beings like us, we're beings in the other realms of this game, they're just veiled by frequency. They're only veiled through a net of frequency because we're in a frequency, we're frequency, and they're just in another realm of frequency. So in the veil that they're sitting on, the little curtain they're behind, they only can get from you what you permit, and a lot of them do use it through fear of the known, but most of the time of the unknown. A lot of times fear comes from I don't know what the hell gonna happen once I leave here, or I don't know what the hell was gonna happen when I go within. So you have to just get beyond being afraid of the unknown. You have to just question all things. You have to don't believe everything. You just have to question all things. So we're gonna deal with him talking about how he figured that, you know what, it's time up for being childlike. It's time to master his fear, master the game. So then, even though he can't wake anybody else up from knowing or being aware, you can't make someone aware. He's saying the same thing I'm saying. If I become more aware, then that's going to include you becoming aware, and that's going to include my husband becoming aware, and my children becoming aware. Even though they're playing a game, in the game they're the characters, my children. He's a character, my husband. I'm his wife, a character, his wife. And that has to be understood too. That's why no one can own anyone. That's why no one can be the head over you. That's why no one can say, hey, I'm the king of the house, you're the queen of the house. No, those are just roles. We're eternal beings. No one can be the master of you inside the game, outside the game, because we're one. And if we're one, because we are one, you should say, look, calm down, my brother. Calm down, my sister. We one. So that means we stand 10 toes down together. We only play a role. And the people are only want to be in tune with you because they can be boss over you. Something's wrong with that. From a leader in the congregation to a leader of United States, all of that. So I'm also going to talk about how this guy talks about claiming your name. Now, here you have Mike on the right talking about claiming your reality. So he's saying that in claiming your reality, you have to claim while you're in the game who you be. Not so much the title name on your birth certificate, but that is part of the play. You also then have to take learning who you be eternally, and then once you learn who you are eternally, then take out the rest of your life to say, let me correct some of this stamp and approval stuff they put on me in the stock market, my straw name and all of this. So over here you have the guy showing a birth certificate. Let me go to it. He's showing a birth certificate. And in this birth certificate, he's showing there is such thing as a fictitious name. Now, this is what a lot of the billionaires use in order for them not to have to pay taxes in this game. They figured out the game that they don't have to be scrutinized and robbed and pillaged like we do, the ones that are sheep and goats and cows and moo and bat, and we just going along eating grass and just believing everything people put in front of us from our little cold their hearts, and we don't look at nothing. We don't seek knowledge. We don't obtain knowledge, so we perish all the day long. Why? Because we only want to look out one book. We might look out 2 books. We need to look at everything inside this game. So he talks about claiming the name. Now, this is technically, the guy is technically talking about this. I'm just blending the two because that's how I am. I don't go into research or I don't go into the flow. I was watching stuff this morning, making the bed, rearranging things in my room, and I was just letting it play in the background. And I saw these on my feed, and I was like, interesting. Let me take our time to pick up the volume. Let me take our time to enlarge the screen. And these aren't the only 2 videos I watched. It was a couple others, but this is what made me pause and say, Those were those other two videos was pulling me towards the two melanated fellas that were talking about. I actually subscribe to their channel because I'm interested in a little bit more knowledge. They were talking about the flow, and I was like, yes, great wording, great wording. Made me look over when I heard them. And then this guy's talking about once you get into waking up, once you're no longer sleeping and slumbering, and you have oil. That's what the actual Bible is talking about. The oil in your lamp is waking up, so you can see through the veil, because there's no one coming for you. The bridegroom is there's no bridegroom coming for you other than yourself. Okay, it's you coming to yourself. It's you coming to the Christ mind. The Christ mind is an awakened mind, not an awakened mind to gain money, to gain the whole world. It's coming into knowing who you be. It's coming to knowing who you be. You're more than a mind. You're more than feelings. Oh, I feel like a woman. Oh, I feel like a man. No. Feelings have nothing to do with your avatar. Your avatar is male or female. It's biological, okay? But your eternal you isn't. So we don't want to mess those two up. Same thing when it comes to claiming your avatar name. But here they call it the straw man fallacy, okay? In court, so we're gonna talk about that, and then I'm going to talk about the straw man, the fictitious name. It is us being in this game called life, this matrix, this simulation, is us, our parents giving us this capitalized name, this fictitious straw man name, like we're some property, like we're some building. We're just a part of the matrix. Isn't that what it is, y'all? We're just part of the matrix. That's why our names are in caps. We're just a building. We're just aesthetics inside of a game. I think so. And everything gives off carbon. Everything gives off energy. Okay? Oxygen, carbon exchange. However, I think it's a scam. But the thing about it is, even if we don't technically get the paperwork done, just the idea of knowing it's a scam, just the idea of knowing that, hey, a straw man is just someone that's just fictitiously stands there for you. A fictitious thing is just a published name that was given to you by someone else, technically your parents. And of course, they put it on the stock market. Of course, it's the S&P thing where they make money with your birth certificate, you know what I'm saying? Attached to some bank and all that, blah, 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 blah. But the idea that that they're here to get loose off of you, not just energy-wise, that's one way, but also they want to get loose off of you when it even comes to the work that you do in your mortal body through taxes. The access, they want to put you back in their purgatory, back in their hell, back in their heaven. So you have to say, no, I don't want to be assigned. So then I get sent back, and then they take more loose from me. They take more energy from me. They take my strength from me. Why? Because they figure you don't even know, so you're not going to argue about anything. Okay? I wonder, should I... let me see. Let me look at this other thing over here right quick, because I want to make sure y'all understand to hold on to this video, okay? What is the legal business name? What is the trade name? So remember, you can have both, okay? Because they're both fictitious. One's considered a straw man, the one you're born with, and then you have fictitious name, which could be a trade name, which could be a business name. However, you can actually use your real name to be your business name, and then the business takes on all the debts. Isn't that something? So this is how you know we're in a darn game. It's just like Roblox. We're in a game, people, and these people know this. And when you're waiting on someone to save you, that's why you don't get saved. You don't get saved because you're waiting on someone to change the game for you. Well, you must obtain knowledge to change the game for yourself. While you're in the game, get the knowledge you need to master the game. Do not depend on one constructed reference material, because every book is a reference material. I don't care if you think it's holy. I don't care if you think it's above reproach. I'm telling you, it's all reference material. It's reference material so that you will no longer have a childlike mind. Okay, so let's go to the next one, and this one is So it says, I just picked a county. Um, so don't get too excited if you think that's where I say, because a lot of times you see stuff on screen like with um, dimension. When I'm talking about dimensional stuff, or I'm talking about articles or PDF files, and on there you'll see some type of zip code. A lot of times I've been and already put in a whole nother zip code because I don't just stay in one locale and look for information. I'll lose, like this is California, and then the other one, Nevada. I'm very careful here on the tube. I'm careful. I'm careful. Okay, so do I need a fictitious business name? So this is what this was talking about. And this is dealing with the clerk recorder, the office of assessors. So it's literally telling you how to file for fictitious things. So what's the whole point of this? What's the whole point of this? That's like a Louisiana number, 559, but that's area code. So slightly different. So, and I know a lot of zip codes. I know a lot of area codes got decode, just in case y'all don't know that. So why am I saying this? I'm saying the reason why your parents file for you is because without the filing, you're not really in the game in a usable way. That's why they want everybody to be on a digital system. That's why they want everybody to be attached to a contract. Okay, you always hear about these Hollywood people, these hip hop people talking about contracts. These are contracts. Now, you say, well, I may never get to being able to do this. Or why do I need to do this? Well, you don't have to do this, but you still, I believe doing it would be awesome. I think you still need to know that it's there. So at least you can say, oh, I counted that. I counted that fictitious name. I counted that straw man's name. I give them no power. I remember one time I went to DMV, my husband and I, and because we're always together most of the time when he's off. And 9 times out of 10 we're together. We enjoy each other's company, of course. And in this round, definitely 1,000%. And there's a reason why I say that. And I went in, and my husband, he got his first, and then I got mine second. And I did not look at my driver's license because it was for another state. I've lived in several states, people, more than life can convey. And when I finally looked at it, I think we went to we were at a bank, and we were selling something, and we needed record of the sale. And I looked down on my driver's license, and it had all zeros. And I looked at my husband and said, they gave me a driver's license with all zeros. How is this possible? And later on that day, I called the DMV. They said, how did that happen? And that was during the time when I was really seeking how to not be controlled by this matrix we're in. I had started talking about what is going on? What is this? What is this? Asking questions to myself. What is this? This seems like a play. This seems like a grand stage. This seems fictitious. Life doesn't seem like it's legit. So when I start asking the questions, the game actually informed me that I'm really out of the game on a certain format. That 000 let me know. It was like 7, 8 zeros, 9 zeros. Let me know that you're out the game now. That's when I knew, oh, that meant I'm out the game. But I decided twice that I was going to stay in the game, because there were 2 times I felt like my time was up, and I said, no, I'm going to stay a little bit longer, because the more knowledge I know, the more I know no one can gravel me into, drag me into, oh, you didn't fulfill your purpose, there are more things you could learn, this is a school. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe they would have been able to get me to come back if I hadn't stayed. Now that I'm here longer, I realize more and more that no, this isn't a school, and if it's a school, it's what does the CCP call it? The Chinese people call it a re-education camp, where they want to dumb you down. Because I'm sure through the decades, I've given so much energy, so much loose, because I've been so angry about There's a song that says, I've had trials and tribulations, unexpected situations, living here below. I've had friends that turned their backs on me and leave me standing there in the cold. I've been hurt in the church as I attempt to do God's work by people who call themselves saints. Many times I felt like giving up, but my eternal self says, girl, you came. So that's what I'm talking about. I've given out so much upsetness through the decades that it's time for me to work out this game, not through blind faith, but through doing the work, and not to work to obtain anything from anybody, because can't nobody give me nothing. It's gonna have to come from me, and me is you and you are me. However, a lot of people don't quite get that in the game. So as I learn, as I receive, you gain and I gain. So everything will work out for my good, because I said it will work out for my good. And what is working out for my good? Continuous peace like a river. No exercise in fear. Because fear, can always exist, but there's no need to exercise in the unknown of fear. So just understand that the Office of Assessor / Clerk of Court Recorder have a fictitious operation that started way before they even understood why it was needed. But understand that there's this contract that they talk about. Some people take contract in blood and some people don't. Just understand, technically speaking, that there are online portals that we go through and have our records that we search for. But these records are fictitious, and they're fictitious names. And we are fictitious people. We are fictitious characters. We're straw people. Like, ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. Come on, ease on down, ease on. So you're gonna ease on down the road. Don't carry nothing that might be a load. Meaning, in this game, you're gonna take a way. Now, the way doesn't have to be golden. The way doesn't have to be pure, but the way needs to be a way you determine. Now, would I love everything for me to do to be whatever pure is supposed to be? Yeah, that would be idealistic. However, I understand that I will have emotions. I will want to flip over the tax collector's table. I want to flip over my HOA payments every 6 months. I want to flip over my Mercedes Benz when they tell me how much my oil change is, $200 some. You know what I'm saying? You want to get emotional sometimes. All right. So let's I don't think I need to bring these back up any more. Just understand business name, trade name. What's the difference? Of course, the way I'm talking about it is slightly different. Okay, so it says your business legal name is the name on the paperwork you filed when you registered your business. If you have a LLC, now Biden was talking about they're gonna jack folks up for this too because they need more money. But I guess he's not gonna no longer have to worry about that because he's no longer in the actor's position as POTUS. The business name is the name recorded on the article of organization. If you have a corporation, it's the name of the articles incorporated. So understand that in this game called life, if they can get you to sign a contract and they can blindly get you to just understand that you're bound by these rules and regulations, they got you. And that's just how it is also when it comes to religion, when it comes to education, when it comes to government, and when it comes to the media. If they can get you to depend on the media as your eye gates, seeing and knowing, if they can depend on you, depend on the legacy media, and you look, independent news would be some of the best news you could ever listen to because they're not scripted. Regular news is scripted. That's dangerous. And books that are scripted, scripted, they already have a spell in them that go ahead of you to prepare a certain path for you. So that's why it's called a gospel. It's a ghost spell, meaning that it gets you going. You're already in it before you even understand why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? As a child, you're raised as a child. You're trained up in a certain way, and you go in that way, and you won't depart from that way even once you become old because you've been trained in that way. Okay, so it's just the same thing like in the game, you know. A lot of people get their LLCs or their fictitious name, business name, this way, so then they can just not have to pay taxes. A lot of them on certain things. Anything else? Let's go back over the straw man for a moment here. So here with the straw man, let's go over it. There are several court cases related to straw man theories. So it says Johnson versus United States. Individuals in this case argue that the use of all capital letters in the government documents refer to a separate legal entity, a straw man. The IRS reminded taxpayers that all individuals are subject to the Internal Revenue Code. So the person saying, look, that's not even me. That's not how I write my name. That's a straw person. Okay, that's a straw person. I was talking about, let's see right here, I was talking about straw man on the Oz. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So it says, in the Wizard of Oz, the straw man refers to the scarecrow character, a farmhand made of straw who desires a brain and joins Dorothy on her journey to the Emerald City to seek it from the wizard. So you have a wizard who wizards cast spells, but he wants his brain from the wizard. Okay, so there are people in this game that put set spells out. Kabbalah, the Ozzy are really bad at it. They're technically good at it because they do Hollywood and they run the media. You got Mark Zuckerberg, you got what this guy name is over BlackRock, Larry Finks. You got so many people. There's a list of people that when you look at their names, they're Aussie Nazis. And they run the Federal Reserve and everything. So they have us inside of this cute box of putting you as a scarecrow, making you a goyim, making you just an animal, a beast. They have you in a beast system. Okay, and once you wake up from the beast system, you won't accept any mark of injection. You won't take any gene therapy that's called some people call it a vax, but I would say just don't jump in the line like a puppet or like a straw man and just take something just because they say they have a contract that got a spell on it. And with music, they put spells on music. Yes, I'm saying these people because they're the main ones. That's why they always get in trouble and then they be wondering why nobody likes them, because y'all be doing too much. Because they feel that they're the chosen, but they're not. The synagogue of Satan. And they just don't want to accept it. But I understand because Satan is Saturn, and Saturn is a big planet, and Saturn and the Earth and the Moon are in a trilateral agreement to reincarnate and cycle people. So he's going to the Emerald City. Now remember Superman, whose dad is El. El means God, or Elohim, God. Superman got cast down to the earth. That would be us. We got cast down. Not that we have some El or some Elohim waiting on us on another planet. So remember Superman's parents perished. Okay, so let's erase the whole idea that you got to go back to some source or some energy or somebody greater than you. That's not what it be. Because once they got dissipated, he is still them. Okay? He's still his mom. He's still his dad. The DNA, the markers in your DNA. That's why they want to give injections so that they can change your marker. And they keep your frequency on the 666 frequency. Okay? They want to keep you a straw man. They want to keep you a fictitious character. And the only way they can do that, they have to dumb you down. And they can dumb you down through publications. They can dumb you down through fictitious names. They can dumb you down through claiming you. So people love to claim you. Elohims love to claim you. Sign my name on the roll. I've been changed since the Lord has looked at me. So they want to claim you. Say, and you say, well, I'm okay with being claimed because my name on the roll. Have you seen the roll? No, you have not seen the roll. You're under a spell. Seems like such a sweet spell on it. Emerald City. Now the Emerald City, the green color Emerald City, was actually spectacular in the Wizard of Oz. However, the Emerald City wasn't the Crystal City that Superman went to was not green, but the kryptonite that he could not handle was green. So here you are going to Emerald City, which would be Kryptonite, and you're easing on down the road to an Emerald City to get your brain back from a wizard, from someone that's put a spell on you. Now the Scarecrow character is just a farmhand, someone that's working the earth, someone that understands the earth, someone that understands Gaia, that understands Sophia, that understands the seasons, winter, summer, spring, fall, autumn, and that's all you know, the works of your hands. Okay, but it comes a point where you have to get on a higher frequency, because the golden path could be considered a higher frequency, a pure frequency. A pure why? Because you simply want a mind that's not all over the place. You want a sound mind. It doesn't matter how many times people claim you in this person's name and that person's name. You still need your own mind. You need to still be on a path that's laden with not full of impurities, but full of understanding. What's that song? All I need from you is understanding. Dun, 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 dun. That came to my mind. She's talking about a guide up. She's not asking you to save her. She's not asking you to birth the baby. She's not asking you to pay all the bills. She's saying, I just need from you an understanding. Understanding what? That I'm just as human as you are. I'm just as eternal as you are. I'm just as loving as you are. So, I'm moving you into I'm moving you into what it is that my mind can see. So if you're wondering what this talking is still about and I haven't gotten to the video, it's because the way I do things, that's not how understanding comes. I go on the flow and I'm allowing myself to just be, okay? I'm in the moment, I'm in the present, I'm not worried about some future, I'm not worried about some past. I stay in the moment and I enjoy the moment. Okay, so all of us have to come to an understanding, which receiving the brain, and your brain can't come from a wizard. Your brain must come from you accepting you. The wizard would be Elohim's, gods. The wizard would be low frequency, high frequency, dimensional beings. Some say aliens, some say angels, some say angels, some say demons, some say whatever. Pick a name. Okay? So, anything else I want to say about that? So let's look at, let's go down a little bit more. It says the symbolic meaning. The scarecrow, just because y'all know where I'm at. The scarecrow represents the desire for intelligence and the idea that someone might not appear smart but possesses great potential within. So, we can admit that humanity just doesn't seem smart at all, because we will hear something, we don't have to have proof of it, we just can feel. I feel like I feel like I'm a vagabond. I feel like I need a savior. I feel like I'm undone. I feel like I just feel. Let me add on to that, because some people say, no, but if I don't feel it, if I don't feel I need a savior, then I'm just without. I feel. And they say that's valid. Let me show you something else. The reason why you shouldn't do that. And the reason why I stopped doing that is because I hear people say, I feel like I'm a man. I feel like I'm a woman. So you see a woman saying, I feel like I'm a man. And you look at her and saying, girl, don't you see your body? You biologically a woman? Oh, I feel. So that's what I be. They getting that spiritual and they're getting the masculine and feminine energy that we are both. They're getting mixed up with the avatar. You cannot change your avatar. You must work with your avatar. You must play in the game with the avatar that you registered with. You just have to. It's the same thing. I feel like I need to go on. I feel like I need a savior. I feel like I need a guru. I feel like I need a messiah. I feel like I need a Mashiach. I feel like I need a Mahdi. I feel We have many doorways in us, y'all, and that heart chakra is deceitfully wicked above all things, because that's what the book say. Believe them. Don't put your trust in man. That's what the book say. I'm talking about one particular book. I don't know if other books say that, but anyway. Anything else I want to say about this before we move on? Possession of great potential within. So the straw man felt like he had great potential within. But the straw man realized that he didn't have knowledge. For lack of knowledge, people perish. And they cast off restraint. So when you start getting knowledge, you start knowing, oh, I can let that go. Oh, I can hold on to that. Like when I started getting more knowledge about how this matrix works, I realized that the tell lie vision tells a lie to your vision. And what kind of lie does it tell to your vision? Y'all know it just tells a lie. What kind of vision? A lie vision. Vision, lie, tell. Tell, lie. Vision. What kind of vision? A lie vision. It tells a vision that's a lie. I don't know how to say it other than that. I do it two different ways. That's duality. That's reversism. Okay? So I hope y'all can hear me clear, because sometimes my video doesn't be as loud as it needs to be. So someone may not or might not appear smart, but possess great potential. All of us have great potential within us. The seen and the unseen people in the game. Those ones that have avatars and those who do not have avatars. And I want to encourage everyone that doesn't have an avatar and you're stuck in the twits, that you need to still be working on your understanding. You need to work on your understanding of who you be. So then you can just level your understanding to a clearer path. There's no such thing as like levels to get out of here, but it's all about not lowering your understanding, gaining more understanding. And it's all about desiring intelligence, and not just knowledge, but being intelligent. Intelligence, okay, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Old folks say get wisdom, knowledge, and good understanding. So it's knowledge. So understanding would be intelligence. So now that you got some knowledge, now you need to figure out intelligence. So intelligence has to do with application, knowing how to use the information you got, knowing how to take it and apply it in such a way that it opens up other understandings that free you even more from snares, entrapments. What did it say? The arrow that fly by day, under the shadow of the Almighty. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, from the noiseless pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the arrow that fly by day, nor for the pestilence. Wait, is that right? I haven't said that in a long time. That's Psalms 91. Very wonderful pen writing. However, that he is you. And you say, well, you're trying to say I'm God. No, you don't want to be God, because God is just dog. God is just Toto. But Toto did move the veil. Toto did show the big head man behind the veil. Okay? All right, so let's move off that. So let's move off this. And remember, the game itself is the scam. And you need to move towards not being scammed. And that's going to come with time. Don't be in such a rush to lead the game. Just understand that while you're in the game, get as much as you can while you can. And try to stay in the spirit or the energy of care. Don't be a sucker, you know. If you know somebody wants to slap you on the right cheek, make sure you just stay away from those kinds of people, because you don't want people to test you, okay? Checks your resolve. What the song say, try Jesus. Don't be trying to try me. So you want to keep yourself away from being tried. If you can avoid being starved out, because a lot of people will be starved out, you have to comfortably prepare for things such as that. And you have to say, okay, what is it in this game that my haters might want to do? Okay, and self will tell you, oh, they're going to use laser beams, weather chemtrails, cloud seeding, and they're going to go straight up north in South Carolina to get that land. You might need to build yourself up and get off that waterfront and get up a little higher, because y'all got a whole bunch of valuable noosh that they want in order to entrap more people into the game. The point of the game actually is to keep you here. So which one y'all want, left or right? Which one, left or right? Let's try let's listen to him first, and then we'll go to the natural once he talks about the unseen.
That's the most boring thing you can do in your life. I've tried that and I said I won't do it again. But you have to remain conscious in whatever state that you're really in, and so you are in control.
Is there any benefit to what you do with all this astral travel and stuff like that? For example, like, are you able to manipulate this construct for your own benefit?
Jeffrey asked some of the, to me, quirkiest questions, but if y'all can still hear me, of course, I'm a dreamer, so I don't at this point, I don't see astral travel as being necessary. If you acknowledge the gifts you have, then you may not even have to concern yourself with, especially if you aren't, just be where you be. I would say don't be anxious for anything. Don't be anxious for anything, any experience. Just understand that as you grow, you'll ease on down the road. And that's really not a road, because in my dream I saw there wasn't a road. It's just a frequency. I was showing my family there's a frequency that you flux in, and you can show other people the frequency, but it's still invisible to them. So I'm gonna let him continue to talk.
Benefit?
Well, that's what I work on. Because first of all, I have to understand how things work, because I'm a technical person. And in order to understand how things work or how to repair them.
So when he says he's a technical person, he's using the left side of his brain. Got that masculine energy, and then you have the feminine energy is on the right side, where you care. But understand, in order to be a healthy person, you have to, and I'm talking about physical and inwardly, you have to have your feminine and your masculine balance. You just can't be hardcore. You still have to use logic, but then you still have to use intuition. You still have to allow that care to be there. You got to care about, why are you being intrigued to investigate why. But then you can't be full of fear, but you can't be gullible neither. So you have this whole life, however many decades you have or years you have. Enjoy learning. Don't be in a rush for tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Since there's no such thing as tomorrow, enjoy the moment. Yeah.
You have to understand the whole inner workings of the system. Now, this system is built around layers of illusion. So what I see might not be the way things really are. So I have to delve deeper and deeper and deeper. What I do is
So prime example what he's talking about, and I have to interrupt because I don't want to get copyright, just in case Jeff has copyrighted his stuff. I don't want YouTube coming in and I wind up showing y'all something that absolutely will open your eyes to what we're really inside of. I don't want them becoming envious and jealous hearted and being able to use an easy excuse for my video not to get out. Okay, I want to be able to let it move in the game the way it's supposed to. But me go back and let's listen to that for a few seconds again, so y'all can hear what he said.
Of illusion. So what I see might not be the way things really are.
Prime example. That's what I'm trying to go back to. Prime example. Prime example. Television, the media. how the government runs. When I did a video the other day, a lot of Democrats were really emotional about Trump not going down. And I'm like, that's because y'all believe in the blue. And some people believe in the red. Y'all still are in the illusion. You're still deluded. You're still being deceived. You're easing on down a road. But what happened is you got off the road and you got into the Popeye field, like Dorothy and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Lion and the Dog. You got into the Popeye field and you all got put to sleep. You have to come out of the illusion that the demons on crack care about you, the blue. Then you have to understand that the rhinos in the red do not care about you, neither Mega, and you have to accept that. Now, a lot of people see Mega as scary, but Mega is just part of United States humanity. Mega movement actually is 666 in ciphers, meaning that doesn't mean that they're wicked. That means that they're still not where they need to be. I can't say where the Democrats or the demons on crack are, because when you can massacre a baby, I don't know. I can't put words on you. It's like if I say anything, it's not going to be merciful. It's going to be like, no, you low frequency. You too low frequency. When you hate your avatar, and you know you should be spending time appreciating your avatar, and you should understand that being biologically who you be is based on the body. Man cries, woman cries, man screams, woman screams, man dances, woman dances. We all can do the same thing to a certain extent. But when it comes to feelings, we all can have the same feelings. Pain, love, joy, peace, frustration. We all can experience the same feelings. So when people talk about feelings, that goes with the care center, the heart center. That's part of the feminine. And the other, when you're upset, that's the masculine energy in your heart. That has nothing to do with your body. You have to respect your body. And once you start respecting your body, then you can start playing the game appropriately. Let's say you put on an avatar in this game and you're running, you're playing good with your avatar. Then all of a sudden you come along, you see somebody that say they're a they. Well, do you understand that you only see one person in that character? Now, if they're a they, then they need to have more than one body. They need more avatars. Maybe this person in the game has one body, but then they have in games you can see where you can store different energy bubbles, life bubbles. Well, there's another life that comes to the avatar. The avatar gets killed. There's another life they can say, oh, I got 30 lives. Let me get one of those lives. Well, is that going to be the same character with the same energy? Yes. So when you say they, you have to have other avatars for the day. Because if all the days want to dwell in you, you're not going to be able to efficiently play the game. Because maybe the most powerful one want to be the boss for the first 15 minutes of the game. Then the other one that needs to be the subtle, quiet one to get in and sneak out. Maybe the bossy one won't. That sounds like possession, right? That's what it is. That's what it is. And in my 400 level courses at the university, abnormal psychology, it comes through trauma. It comes through trauma. And people, when you're opened up like a doorway through trauma, disembodied spirits can enter in because they want to play in the game too. But they have to sort of kind of have a way in. And then once you realize they're in there, they may say, well, can I stay? And then you say, well, I do need help. So they'll stay. So, y'all, this game a little bit more deeper than you think. Okay.
So I have
And some of these characters just want to have sex. I actually did them at the party.
to delve deeper and deeper and deeper. What I do is I go through a process and then I make some changes. Did that work? Or was that another illusion of feel? Then I have to go deeper into the process.
So he says first he logically thinks about it, and then after he thinks about it, he gets a game plan. That's the left side of your brain. Then he taps into his right side of the brain, even though he didn't say it. As an avatar, a biological man, he's probably not even picking up that he's talking about the feminine side now. And then after he logically thinks about it, then he goes in towards his feelings about it. That's different than just thinking about it. You go into your feeling about it. How did it feel? You have to have both. You can't just bleed on one. You can't just bleed on one. It's very dangerous just to bleed on one, especially being in this game.
And that's what I do. I go through a process over and over. Just like I did, I spent years trying to figure out the glimpses. This is how I figured this system out. So I figured, you know what? I got this far. Now I need to understand how I can go farther into the direction that I want now. Now I'm going into a direction that I choose to. And so that's where I'm at right now. But the more that I understand the manipulations going on around us, whether it's the sleep state, the dream state, the abstra, or whatever, the more information I have to put in my database. And I build upon it constantly.
And see, this is the thing about the game. Whatever window you come through, whether you're a Sagittarius, a Leo, a Cancer, a Libra, whatever window you come through on whatever season and whatever day you fall into this game, we're set under program, and that program will keep running. And then your parents, your religion, your belief system, the school system, the television or the media, radio, whatever you listen to, and the government, all four of these work together in congruent with your parents to set you on a certain path. Now, a lot of times people are in school, their kids are taught to be rebellious towards their parents when they get around 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. They become very rebellious. And not because they're kicking the bucket against the system. It's just they're being programmed at school to depend on outside people other than their bona fide game playing family. So, you have to question, wait a minute, why is this child trained? Of course, their brain stem start changing. That technically is true. That their minds, when they start reformulating when they're around 13, 14 years old, that's definitely what's going on. They have a reconfiguring of their actual smooshy brain. The synapses going off different ways, and things are going, and things are being shrunken. A lot of that happens. However, the way we are programmed is through our parents and the four other things that's on the illuminated pyramid. I tell people all the time, underneath these four toolages, these four masters, belief system, government, media, and education. Under these four masters sit the sheep, sit the cow. Underneath the base of the pyramid are the goyim, the beasts, the 666s, the humanity. We're sat underneath. We're so pressured in the game to perform that we're sat. I'm not saying you don't supposed to desire a pleasant life. Who wouldn't want a pleasant life? I'm not saying, live to see another day in such a traumatic way. No, I'm not saying like that. I'm saying if your reality is pleasant, it's because you directed to be pleasant. If it's not pleasant, it's because you did not direct it to be pleasant. Sometimes when we're younger, things are brought in through our parents, through our education, through the government, and through the media. So, but once you come to an understanding, now it's time to forgive and say, I'm moving forward. You say, well, the person doesn't deserve to be forgiven. Well, it's not about they deserve it. It's about untangling yourself from the perpetual loose you give to low frequency that needs you to be angry with that person. Free yourself from being part of the entrapment, that entanglement. Because remember, we're a quantum entanglement. I haven't said that yet. We're not a quantum entanglement. We're all one. But you don't want to be part of the one that's always depressed, always pissed off, always regretting, always flustered, always why, woe is me, why. You want to be part of the one, and the one is us. You want to be part of that sector of us who have awakened to the understanding of, if I'm going to have peace, I got to be that peace. If I'm going to have salvation, I got to be that salvation. If I'm going to have good understanding, then I got to be that good understanding. Nothing wrong. I'm not robbing you, nor are you robbing me to say we're one. I'm not robbing you. And I don't see you robbing me to say we're one. Yes, we're individuals because we're experiencing individuality in this simulation. However, me saving me isn't based on you come over here saving me. It's based off of what is it I'm trying to save myself from. Save myself from ignorance. Ignorance.
So that's where I'm at. And it's not just about getting out of the system. What we have to realize is we all have to be here every single day. I might be here for another 20, 30, 40 years.
Correct.
You know, kids might be here another 60 or 80 years.
Right.
So just because you're looking for a way out, you need to be able to make this place tolerable and controllable while we're still here. If we can get rid of the predators controlling us here, then we've got a whole lot to be thankful for and to look forward to, because we're able to control them versus controlling us. So I think we need to start here first. Yes.
So for me, I know he probably didn't mean controlling them, but I guess that's just from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak it. So for me on that part, it would be, I always say, and I look at my husband sometimes and I'll say, oh, I wasn't talking to you, I was just speaking out in the game. And he says, I already know that you always speak out in the game. Sometimes I have a thought and I be like, my husband be sitting there and my daughter, and they know how I am. It's like, I'm so accepting that we're in a game that I'd be like, and I'll just say how I feel, and they'll be like, oh yeah. And anybody else that's in the room, seen or unseen, if you can pick it up. If you can't, you can't. But I don't see myself in a competition with the ones that want to take my leash. I actually hope that they can accept that it's okay that they're not well with wanting to be lighter. It's okay that they feel they're playing a role and the role they're playing needs to be sort of in a trickery format, in a veiled format, because I want to say deceitful, but let's just say y'all just the way y'all play is veiled. And that's the reason why I felt like eating flush was just, I was done with it, because how can I complain about them wanting my energy, my loosh, when they see us as beasts of the field, farm hands. They see us as evidently a product, and like the products that at one time I still I can smell meat and say, oh, it smells good, fish, steak, the desire for it. But then that's just my biology. My body says yummy, yummy, yummy. Because I can cook something for my family and I won't eat it, but I'll be like, oh, yummy, yummy, it smells good. But technically speaking, that's just my body. My understanding causes me to say, yeah, it smells good, but I don't want that energy of suffering in me, because I have to deal with enough already. So it's not that I don't think something smells good. I don't think the fried fish smells good. I don't think that the grass-fed burger doesn't smell good, look good, whatever, or the boiled egg doesn't bring protein to me or whatever. It's not that. I found that it's more important to be more than this avatar. My avatar isn't the most important thing, When I was in Christianity, I did without things for other reasons, dealing with principalities and powers, rules of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places. I even call it low places. I fast a lot, being able to help others remove spirits or dark forces out of them, casting out forces out of them. And it was just casual, normal life for me, where fasting 3 days, no water, no food, just in preparation for just in case you're in service and someone needs your assistance. I always felt like you had to be on a level where your flesh wasn't stronger than your spirit. And they say you wrestle with your flesh, your spirit and your flesh always wrestle. And that's so true. Man penned that, and I think man is right with that. I just don't trust everything man says, because the book says you're not supposed to put your trust in man. So I have to I read what they say, but then I still remember what they say too. The heart is deceitful and wicked above all things. So that means you can't put all your trust in your feelings. You have to learn how to have knowledge to be able to balance even your feelings. So that's probably my husband, Colin. But I'm gonna allow it to video to go, and then I'll see what he has to say.
I'm working in the background, but if we can control it here, then it makes our job a whole lot easier.
Can anybody learn to astral travel like you do?
Anybody can learn how to do anything. And what I say is, I didn't used to think that this was true, but now I know it's true. When I say anything is possible, nothing is impossible. It depends on how much effort you put into it, and how much drive you have. Because if you want something bad enough, you will make it happen. And I'm not just talking about wishing for a new car and then you're going to wish yourself richer. No, I'm not talking about manifestation. That's not how. That's snake oil in most cases. What I'm talking about is you really making things happen. So if you understand there's a way for you to say astral travel, or for you to remote, some remote view or whatever, how you do it is begin by learning techniques or learning how that works, okay, and find out what works for you. And maybe I started with the astral travel and it was redirected to the portals. You're going to be redirected, possibly redirected. And I spent many years fighting it, because I thought, well, I still want to go over here, but I keep getting over here. And finally I said, oh, screw it, I'm going with it, and I'm just going to follow it, okay? So you have to at some point you got to put your eggs in one basket and try to follow the pathway that's actually pushing you towards it. And I will say that there's nothing that you can't do. If I can create a portal, you can create one. There is absolutely zero. There's zero things you can't do.
When he said about creating a portal, I know two people I heard of. In my sense, necessary. No, teach something. I have a family member that said that when that person was younger, portals always happened in the nighttime, and they would go and look at other parts of the world, and they would come back by morning and they would be tired, but they just never told anybody that they had that gift and ability, and they came equipped like that. So this person definitely, whenever I see this person, I always remind them of that, and I say, hey, make sure you learn as much as you can. Don't go back to sleep, because you came already equipped with knowing how to see through the veil. She didn't get into any sneakerism or whatever. I think one time she said she did get a piece of fruit or something as she was traveling. She didn't pay for it, but she was like she was hungry, and I was like, wow. So that person's gift totally different than mine. Mine's just I'm a dreamer, and even in dreams I've seen portals in dreams, so it's like everyone thinks it's just this is the way, and it's like, no, everyone you can access outside outside of whatever we call this matrix. Even if, I don't even think there's really an outside. I think it's more of an inside matrix, if that makes sense. So whatever, and whenever someone's saying something, you have to take what they say. If you don't understand exactly what the person's saying, put it in your side pocket. Okay, I heard them. I'm not going to call them the devil. I'm not going to demean them. I'm just going to hear the person's experience, and I'm going to respect the fact that I think that life may be on a grand stage too in some format. You know, just because you're watching this video, so evidently you think that the straw man concept and the fictitious character concept is something that's developed in the seen and the unseen. It's in both, I do believe. So let me talk a few more minutes, and we'll go to the last one, then I will be out of here.
But first of all, you have to get yourself beyond this box, because you've grown up in this box. You built the box of your own confinement. You know, all of your limits keep you within that box. And that's what we've been programmed to do, is believe that we don't have the power to do that. Oh, I can't do that. No, we got a million excuses. But excuses don't get things done. You have to physically apply yourself, because never once has anybody who succeeded ever used an excuse to succeed. It doesn't work that way. You have to 100, 150, 200%, and sometimes you get to the point where you're aggravated beyond belief.
Say it.
But yeah, that's part of the process. That's the way things work. But if you're not all in it, then you'll never outlast that.
Right.
So, and you want to talk
about what he means by outlasting is sometimes you're weary, wounded, and sad. You can't find a resting place, and nobody can make you glad. So what he's saying is that you have to stretch your tolerance, your endurance each time you're learning. If you know, well, like for me, I'm able to sit comfortably and watch watch a video comfortably, like absolutely. You might as well just throw a mango ice juice in my hand with some organic chips. I can literally sit here and watch an hour video and think 15 minutes and pass, because if it's educational, I enjoy it. I can literally watch a 2-hour video, a 3-hour. I can take a whole day and watch a 6-hour video. Take me a lunch break. Blah 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 blah. Go outside, look at my garden. Go mess with my flowers. Come back in. It's like. Next. So you have to learn to reprogram your mind that's been programmed by the 4 things: your parents, 5 things: your parents, school, religion, television, and the government, who wants to govern your mentality. That's why they tell you how to vote, because they need you to do what they need you to do, okay? They need for you to have a world they need for you to have, okay? Because most of them are secret society. I guarantee you 95% of Congress and the Senate are secret society. I guarantee you in all the 3-letter alphabet, I guarantee you they're in secret society. They know stuff you don't know. So you got to stay under their feet, okay? Because on the illuminated pyramid, you're under their feet. They're above you, okay? Okay, that's the reason why a lot of people hollering and screaming and crying right now because of the elections, because a lot of people that want to be even more over you can't be more over you. Because I learned that for even though we're in a constitutional republic, people keep saying democracy. No democracy that we utilize. The democracy that we utilize. Hear me when I roar. The democracy that we utilize inside of this matrix is inside of the cup of constitutional republic. We are a constitutional republic because everything we do must be based off of the Constitution. Okay? We're not under a democracy because that means that everything can be changed at a whim through voting. We don't vote for everything. Some things have been set and established because they've seen that it works, or it brings a form of balance, or it brings a form of citizenship, or it brings a form of society. You need a society in this game, or you'll have just straight anarchy, some for freakism, and anarchy for thiefism. I know you think anarchy can always bring peace, but it doesn't. Some of y'all. Anyway, I'm just saying in general, because I don't know you personally. So, let's continue.
About frustration, I can talk to you about it for hours and hours because I know all about it, And and you quit 1,000 times, but then you'll restart again. If you've got the drive, you're going to restart, and that's how things work.
So let's hear about the infamous document.
Well, it's going to have something to do with what I was talking to Juan earlier today about with the fictitious name, and let me see. We'll talk about this form here later, but this is the one I would do for Kent
This video is from 11 years ago, if you're wondering. Okay? You're welcome.
County. So we're not going to start with this one, but I just want to show you at the bottom.
Wait, we go back.
It's got a testimony statement, I guess. It's your true name, it's your surname with your given name. But for today, so then it shows my parents with my mother's maiden name are in residence of Auburn, Michigan, place of birth, or birthplace of each Michigan. Right, so at the bottom here, right, it's got in testimony where so it's got a testimony statement on a particular date. Stephen told the county clerk, and then the deputy clerk signed, and then they put the circuit court for the county of Bay. This is the court of record seal. It's nice, beautiful gold seal. What's that got to do with anything? Well, it's going to have something to do with what I was talking to Juan earlier today about with the fictitious name, and let me see. We'll talk about this form here later, but this is the one I would do for Kent County. So we're not going to start with this one, but I just want to show you at the bottom. It's got a testimony statement. It's got the county clerk's name. It's got a place for the deputy. All right, county clerk, deputy. Deputy's going to sign. And there's room over here to put a big ass gold seal. And then this would be recorded in the court of record, which we'd binding on the world. So this really started. This is where it is for Florida, right? It's fictitious name registration. Now, Florida, you do it through the Secretary of State. Michigan, you do it through the county. In either case, I think it needs to go to the other. All right, so there's three places this is going to be seen. It's going to be in the county, it's going to be in the state, and then Bobby found in Arizona where it looks like you can send it to the trademark division in the federal government. And then you will have trademarked your name, and it will become your, lack of a better term, your coat of arms, your memorial bearings. Nobody can use. You got a trademark name now. What we haven't done, the fictitious name exists, we haven't claimed it. And I had done a video earlier on this, and I think it was called Claim the Name, based on really the stuff we're talking about now. But what's bringing it up again, for those who didn't see the email or hear the call that I put on TalkShoe, and hell, I don't remember what my TalkShoe thing is. Sorry. I do with Juan today at, what is today? Did I say it was May 9th? Where he has gone and done this fictitious thing here, right? So this is what the form looks like. Make it a little smaller to start with. This is for Florida. And application for registration of fictitious name. Juan filled one of these out. He got the certificate back. He took the certificate into a court case. He gave it to the judge. The attorney shows up with a court case. The attorney says probably the same things he says every time he's in a foreclosure to start the case off. And the judge looked over at Juan and said, "Do you object to that?" And Juan said, "Well, sure. Sustained." That's what the judge did, because all Juan brought in was this piece of paper. Well, not this, the certificate that shows that he has claimed the fictitious name. And I can't show his documents, right? I'm sorry, I can't show him. He doesn't want it out, but it starts with this form here. And so all he did on this form is you put the fictitious name to be registered. So this is your all capital letter name, first, middle, and last. And for the address, now he put care of C/O. I don't think that that's necessary.
Contract.
Really, what you want to do, right now they're sending mail to a fictitious name, right? Wherever you're all...
So think about it, when we are babies and they prick our feet and they get that blood stain on the cards with our when they register us, that's a blood contract. Deep, man. This stuff runs deep. However, now that you know this, you can easily say, oh, them little pricks you did on my feet to put the blood on those papers, I cancel that. I cancel that. The authority and the power that's using that in the game, I cancel your authority and power by using my DNA blood, setting me under the mark of 666. That's the reason for the world shutting down. A lot of people are going to absolutely be frequency out of the game 2025. It's already happening in China, in Shanghai. Hospital full of people, not because of them naturally catching something. It was because the governments of the world, who are part of the unseen dimensional masters of the game, are tired of the population. That's what Georgia Guidestone got blowed up at 333 was trying to indicate. That they're tired of all these fictitious straw men in the game. And they want to reset the game in such a way that they need for you to be on a nanotechnology, graphene oxide, genotherapy insertion. You know how the gun says pow pow. Well, I have to say it a certain way because I just got off the strike trying to just straight up tell y'all. Sometimes I just try to straight up tell you, and I have to just, hopefully you have some type of knowledge and understanding of what I'm saying. You don't have to believe me. Go look into it. You know, I found it out through doing ciphers, decoding the game. Watch some of my videos, you'll see how I do that. I think I show it well enough where I show you how I think. A lot of people that do Gematria, Gematriator, and I think Zach, they don't exactly show. This is somebody else that does Gematria. They don't exactly show how they do it. They just show you the results. I like to talk about the process. I think that I one part of my play in this game is I am a instructor / teacher, a leader by absolutely came to the game like this. I tell my husband all the time, I only can imagine what all have I done through these time frames, whether it's parallel or whether it's in-dimensional. Who knows what all have I played, because I came into the game very aware of right and wrong. To a certain extent, you know, when you get in group thinking, you're starting to play around with groups and friends and cousins, you can get yourself into a well or to a board thinking. Like was it Star Trek, or not Captain Kirk, but Captain Picard, where he became part of the board. I hope y'all ever seen that. That'll explain why you need not to be part of a group, a congregation. You need to be independent, because the more of us become independent, the more of us can help the group. So it's not really selfish being independent, being an individual, standing on 10 toes down and being an individual is very important, because unless you individually cancel the fictitious name, cancel the straw man's position, a lot of people are braggadocious about, I could say some names, but I won't say his name. I will say his first name, Robert, but not the Robert on this video, another Robert, because this guy name is Robert too, I think. But this is another Robert who's a multi-millionaire. A lot of people know one of his books. they're using this fictitious business name and straw man concept to gain money in the game, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's fiat currency, whether it's gold, silver, coinage. And I mean, yeah, that makes your life comfortable in the game, but that doesn't mean that you figured out the game. That just means that you're playing the game on a financial ultimate level, but that doesn't mean that you actually you're aware.
Capital letter fictitious name gets his mail. That's his mailing address, so put it on here. Because you want to tie that mailing address and this name as a fictitious business. It's not you, it's a business. And it doesn't ask you on this one what your business is. But when we were going through this before, people were asked, well, what is the nature of your business? You could tell them it's property management. You could tell them it's estate management. Right? You could tell them it's real estate. Just say it's property management. Right? So he filled out the mailing address. Now, Juan put X's in the state, and this comes from the stuff we were doing earlier this year, claiming the domicile and stuff. So he had put X's here. And in the zip code, he put it in brackets. Again, I don't know that any of that's necessary. I don't know that it would harm, because it doesn't show on the certificate you get anyways. It just shows that the certificate has been, somebody's claimed the name. Florida County, a principal place of business, so he put his county down here, county of, whatever county he was in. He didn't put the FEI number. Now, going down to this section, this is...
So think about what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is you actually see on the screen someone who's technically in the game saying, hey, there is an attachment to us to dupe us in the game. While we're in the game, on the land of the living, there are entities who have figured out a way to entrap you in the actual physical game. We're not even talking about the eternal side of you being recycled and regenerated. We're literally talking about while you're still here, you have to know about these things and declare and decree them cancel from the fictitious name, from the straw man's position. Free yourself from any covenant, any obligation, any pledge, anything. You must free yourself. And if you can't think of everything that you've been assigned to, from birth certificate, social security card, marriage license, that doesn't mean you're not married to the person, but you need to at least cancel the power that's attached to that fictitious paperwork. You can still say that's my husband, that's my wife, but you do know you're acting as husband and wife in the game, because you're an eternal being. So you're acting as husband and wife. That's why we shouldn't get so hung up on I'm the head and you're underneath me and Christ is above me and blah 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 blah. No, you're missing the whole point in the game. No one can be under you. Because we're all one. How many of us are adjusted well enough in our souls to accept that no one, because of body parts, are under you? No one's supposed to be under you. How arrogant are we in society to think that because I carry and birth, that I'm someone that's less authority minded. That's called a program. Now, I'm female. I look at my body, I see I can birth children. If I birth children, that means I have all the equipment to take care of the children. Now, prior to getting married, let's say I'm already in a career and I meet my husband and he's in a career. Because I'm looking at my avatar and I'm thinking, I got the milk, I got the over care program in me. Of course, I should be the one that if we're going to decide to have children, I'm going to have to make that sacrifice. And we got to determine how long will this sacrifice be. And we also have to determine when will he play a role. How can you play a role on a day-to-day basis for your to be well adjusted in your child's life. And this, I'm talking about the guy's part, the male's part. He has to figure out his play in the being the dad. He has to figure out, when can I hold that character called my child? I need to spend time with this child. I need to develop time with this child. And men must do this, because you, as well as me, we both have masculine and feminine energy. Energy is energy. It has nothing to do with sex. It has nothing to do with pleasure. It's energy. That's the body. That's the mechanics of the body, pleasure and lust. That's the mechanics of the avatar. That was the avatar was programmed for, okay? To be attached to people, to hate people, to love people, to be angry with people, to be joyful with people, to share with people, to be stingy with people. That's what the avatar is for. Don't hate your avatar. Appreciate the avatar, but also understand you still have to, before the close of the day, with this avatar vanishing away and perishing, you have to know who you be. And as long as a man thinks that he needs to be the head of a woman, as Christ is the head of the church. See, y'all don't understand what Christ is. Christ is a state of mind. Christ is not a person. A church is a group thing. So, Christ the head of you, right, dude? As you are over her, right? Well, understand what the church is. It's Borg thinking. It's a Borg. It's no individuality. No figuring out for yourself who you be. You just give up. You just succumb to the group. It's just like being like, I hate to say it's like being like a demon on crack, demon cracks, where they just absolutely going to Borg mindedness on a whole nother level of, they'll say, well, I don't believe, I heard a girl say, she don't believe in abortion, but murdering a child, but she do believe in being able to have a parent relationship with somebody, whatever. Like, and it's like, wait a minute. So you're going to agree with this other person who's agreeing to do something diabolical to another individual who came to this game in their own body. They're in their own body. Yes, they're inside of your body, but they have their own body. You can't absorb somebody's individuality and say, you're going to be one with me. You no longer are valuable. I'm the only valuable voice here because you can't talk. How about that? Little one, you don't have a brain. How do you know? How do you not know this person doesn't come into the game already equipped and ready to come out here and get some things done, to recall some stuff, to run in the game and get rid of this fictitious character and not be a farmhand and not be a scarecrow. So I'm just using that as an example. That's all I think I want to say about this fictitious farmhand, scarecrow, brainless, easing on down the road in life character who looks up to a wizard who's put a spell on them to go ahead into the spell, into the illusion. That's how Diddy was able to get a lot of people to succumb to his witchery, to his wizardry. Pharmaceuticals, and the world was shut down by the biggest spell I've ever seen, by the Jesuits, who told everybody that you're only going to be found safe, and sure enough, things are effective if you would just come down this way and agree with this, that, and the other. I say it that way because I have a new YouTube administrator who likes to be petty, and I want to make sure that the administrator or the person that's working on my page who likes to strike me, I want you to learn as I'm doing my videos. So I wait to the end so to kind of say a little things that might be a little bit allegedly. So then at least you've been to watch the whole video so you can learn. That's my point. My point is I'm going to get you to taste and see. worker. This video, not just for those people in-house, but this video is for you as well. Because you may be the only people, YouTube administrators, that really need to hear this. I hope all is well with you and your soul. I hope all is well with your families. I hope you understand you've been assigned in the game to bump into me. Aren't they funny to make you bump into me? Yeah, they're funny to make you bump into me. But maybe, just maybe, in you investing in me, what I give out will be invested in you. Like, subscribe, hit that bell. Appreciate you always in-house for watching.